What's up, Better Days? This morning we're at Nice Mill Dam. I actually had to carry my kayak out onto the dam and launch from there. There was somebody in the corner fishing where I like to launch. So that's an option. You can walk out on the dam with it. It's not that hard. Right now there's a big tree in the way, but you can get around it. I've got a couple hours before work and I've got this smallmouth bass fever. I went out a few days ago and caught some smallmouth and largemouth here on the West Fork Stones River, just upstream from here in Murfreesboro on the Greenway. And now I just can't wait to get out and get another one. It was fantastic fun. So let's see if we can't catch a couple bass. Okay guys, I bounced it under there all the way up next to the bank and we had a huge explosion as soon as they got in there. I wasn't prepared to set the hook. Wow, that was crazy. That was a huge explosion. I've got on this Topwater frog because I want to be able to throw, oh that's nice, way up in there and not get hung up. That fish. We got our hollow body plastic frog. A little creek that pours into the river right as the sun's hitting that area. Let's get a little closer. We want to make one perfect cast and catch a fish immediately. Way up in the creek as far as we can. I want to cast way up in the creek as far as we can. Missed. I hit the left corner. I can hear the creek in there gurgling. That's better. That's better. Good cast. Why do you want my frog? frog in it for a while. Nobody's wanted a frog. I had one bite, one blow up. Oh, there goes a turkey. Oh, that was a butterball too. Man, that was funny. He was roosted way up in a tree. Doggone it. We got one. I scratched my head and let the lure sink, and it came to a stop on the bottom, and that bass picked it up. And then he jumped right up out of the river right in front of us and spit it. Fishing. I just had to scratch my head. That's all it took. I let that lure sit right down, scratch my head. He picked it up. I picked Buck up on it. He was there. He picked it up off the bottom. I may need to be throwing stuff on the bottom. I wonder if I brought anything like that. Oh, wow. We had rain last week, and it brought the river way up. Now, this is back down again, but it was up long enough to get this grass on the left, some water, and there's just tons of beautiful pink flowers in there. Oh yeah, look at that. I wonder if that's coming out of that grass. Yeah, it's gotta be. There's so much of them. What is this? That is just stunningly beautiful. What kind of flowers are those? What kind of grass is that? That's neat. There's one. Stay down, little guy. Stay down. Last one jumped and spit us. Little guy. It's a crappie? A rock bass. Oh, it's a trophy rock bass. If it ain't a trophy, it's real close. My goodness. That's a big rock bass. I want to say he's probably 9 though. Rock bass got to be 10 to be a trophy. He looks like he's not quite 10. Not quite 10. Look at there. 9.5. Oh man. You got a little bit of growing up to do, buddy. You'll get there though. Oh, I watched him eat it. I set the hook. I missed him. Oh, nice smallmouth just came up. Crunched it. I watched him eat it because he was so close to the boat. I could see him sideways. He took a real slow approach to it and kind of just half-heartedly grabbed at it. I might need to speed up my retrieve just to make that bite a little more vicious. I've thrown a lot of stuff at them this morning. The topwater frog, a couple different size paddle tails. I threw a weedless jig, a heavy weedless jig for a little while. Most of the action has come on this little tattletale though. Oh, he got it again right in front of me, and I missed him. I watched him eat it. Oh, I just missed another one right in front of me. Oh. He hit it with that erratic action. I had paused it, ripped it. Oh, you guys, look at the swirl in the water. A big bass came up. I was giving it that jerking. Man, I might need a jerk bait out here. I was giving it that twitching, jerking action, and a big smallmouth came up. They're striking short. You know, I've got it figured out though. They're hitting this erratic. Typically, I just throw this thing back, throw this thing out, and reel it straight back, and that works great. And that's just not been working today. So I've been stopping and popping it, and I have enticed some really nice bites. Haven't hooked them, but sometimes you got to figure it out before you can start catching them. Man, that thing was nice though. That was a big one. They're out. You know what would be perfect is a big glide bait. That's the action that they're attracted to right now. A big glide bait. I don't have any glide baits at all. Maybe a weightless fluke. Yeah, a weightless fluke would be similar. All right. I have some flukes here. Let's see. Weightless fluke. First of all, let's see how long it takes it to sink. What kind of action it's getting. Oh yeah. Wow. That thing is as much like a glide bait as you're gonna see. That is fantastic. It's working well. I like the way it looks. It's not getting any bites. Man, go back to this paddle tail. Give it that twitching action. Give it a little twitch. Stall it out. Oh, there's a bass smacking at the surface over there. He just had something. Maybe he'll eat this too. He just smashed a bait fish up on Topwater. When I ate it, that was my first strike on a weedless fluke. Weightless fluke. He is rigged weedless, but weightless. Never tried to fish this lure. Had it in my box for years. See if we can get something to eat it though. want to go right across the river from me. There it is. That little creek. The only little creek on this stretch of river. And it's a nice babbling brook. It's almost always running. It's flowing real good today. We threw up in there with a frog earlier. No takers. Let's see if we can get a fluke in there. See. Let's go left side of it first. Just kind of work the left side here. This thing will walk the dog underwater. I mean, it's just incredible. Look at this. That's incredible. I might have to fish this more often. Beautiful cast. I can't believe there's nobody in there. Nothing came out of there. There he is. Something just darted to it. Looks like a largemouth. It went right under this log, though. I think it saw me. There was a fish in there. Oh. A gar. I almost got him too. A gar. A gar came up and just snapped that thing. I almost got him too. All I needed to do to get that gar was just wait, because he had the fish in his mouth. He was going to turn it sideways and try to get it down. And that's when you can stick them. Man, I like the fluke. It's getting me some looks too. We had a couple of hits. It's really slow fishing, and we got to get to work. So we're going to cover some water. We're just going to chucking and ducking this paddle tail. I'm going to let it sink down a little, which I usually don't do. And I'm going to bring him back. Man, what a morning. The fish were active. The first bite we had was right out of the gate, Topwater with that plastic frog. And then it was tough. The very first fish we hooked into that got away, it was when I dropped the paddle tail swim bait to the bottom and scratched my head for a second. He picked it up. So I tried to imitate that action. Oh, look at that great blue heron. By using the fluke, but it was a little too late. We were getting a lot of hits, a lot of interest in that jerking, pausing motion. We just didn't put a lot of fish in the boat today, but that happens. We saw some monsters. They're in here. We'll come back and we'll get them another day. I tell people where to go fishing. If you like that kind of thing, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, you guys. Have a better day.